Hi guys, MicheleMarieDalene. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Ugh. Today's been a busy day. I've been running around taking care of little things. I bought my little heater. It was kind of similar to the old one I had that I originally got from Patty many years ago when I first moved in here. With a couple extra features to it. Ouch. One thing is black. Oh yeah, the cat. Everybody asks me how this cat's doing. Oh my leg. He's getting his weight back. He's getting his fur back. So I figured I'd show you Fame since he obviously came here and he's kind of sitting in front of the heater. It's not on yet, Mr. Cat. Just but he's getting his fur back. Anyway, so this is the heater right here. It has 3 modes on it. Excuse me, I'm trying to show something. It's got their off fan. The fan is really quiet. It's got a thermostat too. So I just turned the fan on so you can hear it. It's just on fan right now. It's very quiet. It has a thermostat, which is nice because yes, that's okay. You can see it here. When you can turn the heat up and down as needed. So if you want to be like set a temperature to where you think is comfortable, you can set the temperature. You can use it because it has a fan. You can use it year round as a fan too. The first heat setting is 600 watts, which is fine because it's going to warm up the room a bit, and as long as you don't have anything else connected to the circuit, you can go to all the way up to 1500 watts. The next setting is about 900 watts, which is, again, you can hear it's very quiet. It has a high temperature limit. It will actually turn off if the coils inside get too hot. So basically, the way it works is very simple. There's an individual coil for the 600, there's an individual coil for the 900, and if you turn it to 1500, which I'm not going to do because I want to blow a fuse, you never know what's turned on in my apartment, you actually will use both heating elements simultaneously. And like you can see my kids, and like I said, you can preset the temperature. So if you really are concerned about it being too cold, you can set the temperature to where it's comfortable, and it should cycle on and off. And of course, you can just turn it off as well. Okay, that's not bad for $27. Okay, and it's all plastic. It's got a little handle on the back, so you can pick it up very easily. Nice base. AC motor. Pan. And that will easily heat up my bedroom or this room pretty good. So that's a big plus. As far as having a live show today, I didn't really plan to do a live show today. I've still got some things I gotta do. I gotta buy cat food for the cats. I did buy some on Walmart, but it's not gonna be here until Saturday. And I know Fame, and I know Rusty, and I know that my cats are going to insist at eating some food. So I got to get some more cat food for them. And so, that's something to keep in mind. Because my cats, they're just like, yeah, they get hungry. They're good kitties, but they do get hungry. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more cat food. It's being shipped. It should be here like Saturday. But I need to get some for tonight because I gave them the last of the cat food this morning. We tried a couple different types of different cat food. They seem to like the stuff that they call the pate from Friskies. Because the other cat food, like the shredded one's okay, but they find it kind of messy too. I kind of find it messy. But CVS does sell the Friskies, but they're charging like $1 a can. So unfortunately, I have to go to CVS and I have to go get the cat food because for right now, because as I said, they have no food in the house until Saturday when the delivery comes. So I got to pick up like 4 cans. I had to take some money out of my savings to help defer the expense because I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Plus, I got to go pick up some Maxima and some other domestic needs. I have to take care of a lot of things today. And tonight it's going to be very cold, so Mr. Heater's going to be busy tonight. Why didn't I go with something like propane? Well, for one thing, I wanted to point this out. The reason I chose not to go with a propane heater is that, number one, there's always a fire concern. And I don't want to risk burning my apartment down with cats and me and stuff. Plus, of course, with propane heaters, even the small little canisters, you basically are constantly going to be spending money just to keep refilling them. As long as you have electrical power, you have main supply, you're okay. You can just basically just plug it into a power source and be ready to go. That's the way I chose this heater. Plus, this is a lot less expensive than even the least expensive propane heaters I've seen are anywhere from about $50, but they don't have thermostats that automatically will turn on and off as needed. They only have one option. They stay on until you turn them off, which means that if they turn on and off by demand, then that would be a completely different story. Then you would just basically would set the thermostat to cycle on and off. But besides that, there's also the issue. The fact is that because they run on propane gas, that there's also fire concerns if there's any leaks in the system. My landlord is a gasophobe, so he's not very comfortable when people start walking around with propane tanks in the apartment. And in the state of Connecticut, it's illegal to have a 25-pound propane tank, 20-pound propane tank inside the building. They are designed to sit outside, which means if I wanted to get a big 20-pound tank, which is really not that big, I have to sit on the porch, which means I'd have a very long propane hose going to a heater. The fire marshal really would not be happy with that at all. So I said, no, I'm not going there. I bought the same basic heater design, which you can see right here, which is the one that very similar to what I originally had in here. Except this one does have a thermostat on it, which is a major step, allowing me to preset the temperatures I want, and then the heat will turn on and off as needed. So I don't have to worry about the fan running constantly. Some of these heaters have, this one doesn't have this. Some of these heaters have a 2-stage heating system where actually, even when the thermostat says, okay, the room is warm enough now, the blower will still stay on for a few seconds afterwards to fully extract the heat from the coil. That's kind of nice, but, you know, it's not really going to make a difference. Now, by the way, one of the people asked me if I'm going to have a live show tonight. The answer is I could, but I still got to try to get some more things in first before I have a live show. So it's not impossible, but I did a live show yesterday. It went really well. So clearly I want to have another live show tonight, but it's going to be after I get back from CVS and things like that, because I got to go there, and it's already raining and soggy and crappy, and I'm not really in the mood to go outside. Oh yeah, by the way, might as well show you this. Mr. Humidifier over there is working good. Of course, it hasn't been on all summer. I need to get some more filters for it. The cheap filter that's in it will probably survive fine. Let me show you this. Anyway, this is this thing to fill it up. Let's get a little bit dusty. You can see it's dusty on the top. You fill it up with water and then you just place it down. And it has the filter, and it looks like it's physically in okay shape. It's dirty, but it looks like it'll survive at least for a few more months or weeks when I get some interest rebate. This is the pan it sits in. And underneath here, I never did show you this. This has the UVC germicidal bulb. Honestly, the germicidal bulb in some ways is kind of a joke because I really don't need it because I have treated city water, but it does have that, so I can actually put this thing back together. I'm gonna put this phone down here so I don't want to drop this on the filter. So, very good filter. Only thing is like I said, I do notice that like this one, this fan is very quiet. It does not make a lot of noise. And so it's last year I bought this and it's been a good thing. I did see that the filter is extremely dirty. Clearly it had drawn a lot of air in and smoke and particulates and stuff like that. That's why this uses paper filters. They're cheap. You can get them on the internet. They're cheap as chips. So you can actually, these two things here, if you, this is a nice expensive Honeywell thing, get refillable. And that's something, like I said, that I found. There we go. Apparently I had a manual focus turned on. Okay, so that's that. Of course, tonight it's going to be cold enough that I'm going to be closing that window because, obvious reasons, it's the only window that's, well, one of two that's open. The other one is so that Mr. Big Cat over there, yes, Rusty, can go outside and in the nighttime because they like going outside. But I really don't think Rusty is going to want to keep going in and out in the cold at night. Tonight it's not going to be as bad. It's going to be cooler, but it's not going to be as freezing as it will be in the next few days. In the next few days, it's going to be down to as low of 2 degrees Celsius, highs of about 15 to 20 degrees. Not really fantastically warm, but it's, well, it's weather, you know, that's just the way it is around here. Already you can see this little electric heater looks like it's going to do the job just fine. How to choose right here. I like the fact that this is for a fan heater. They show different specs on different heater designs, so let's see what we can see this. See, so there's these little guidelines on the box to give you the ideas, good kind of features you consider good. I think the thermostat is going to be a real godsend for me. So I can put this in the bedroom, or I can leave this in the living room, and then when my landlord turns the heat on, I think he turns it on around November 1st and November 15th. Maybe this year he might turn it on early. I don't know. But I will find out sooner or later, as I got the key to the cellar. So if he says to me, Michelle, go turn on the boiler, I do know how to do it. So yes, if he says to me to turn on the boiler and then turn it off at night in the daytime, I could do that. In the state of New York, for example, in commercial landlords are required to make sure that the heat is on when the temperature is below in the nighttime fall below 10 degrees Celsius. In the daytimes, if the temperatures, I believe, are not to be any lower than about 15 degrees Celsius. So, I mean, 15 degrees Celsius is still pretty cool. I don't really have a problem with it. But if he says to me, turn the heat on, I'll turn the heat on. That's up to him. He tells me. And, of course, so let's talk about feeding the cat. Now, since he wants to be noticed. He's nosy. Nosy cat. Yeah, just so we can try to get some light in here. Fame the cat is, you can see he's growing his fur back. Let me shed some light on the subject here. Because this kind of overcast is kind of dark and icky, and let's see. Plugs. I hate American plugs. I hate this plugs. Okay. That's better. I can see him. He grew his fur back. Come on. Yeah. I'll try to see if I can get focus on him furry body. Anyway, so he was really getting really emaciated. I mean, he was in June after Dusty took off. He got so depressed he was not eating at all. He was getting sick. He was just getting awful. He was like I said, I thought he was gonna die. I really did think he was gonna die. He stopped eating. He stopped caring about everybody. He didn't want to do nothing. Whereas now, you can see he's starting to come back. He's getting his fur back here. He cleans himself again, and he lays on the bed every morning, wakes me up every morning to feed me, tell him to feed me and all that. The canned food is helping him. He's actually getting weight back. The dry food, really, honestly, him and, this cat and this cat, they don't seem to give a shit about the dry food. They actually seem to be saying is, dry cat food sucks. We want canned food. We want the good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Except the good stuff costs me a lot of money, and you're paying about 50 cents a can. Also, about $1 a day for 2 cats to eat. That's $30 just for a month. 30 days of cat food is a lot of money. Especially $30 a month is money that I could be using to pay my bills. And so I'm paying for cat food so that the kitties can have something to eat. Unlike me, they can't go to the soup kitchen, and when they do get some things they can take home and feed them from the soup kitchen, I do. I mean, right now I don't have anything at this point from the soup kitchen to feed them. But, by the way, this cat here is 18 years old. He's been around a long time. He's been around a long time. So, like I said, he's coming back to his healthy self. Oh, yes, his ear. His ear, he still has a polyp in it, but I noticed that it seems to have not really grown back as big as it was, and that he's just eating good. My neighborhood, Eating good, my neighborhood. You're looking good, too. You're looking good. Well, anyway, I didn't plan to make this a long spiel. I just originally wanted to show you the heater, but, well, I never got a chance to show you the cat, too. Maybe he's more exciting looking at the cat and seeing how Fame and Rusty are doing and stuff like that. And people have asked me if I'm ever going to do a video on a tour of my apartment to give you more full story of what's going on. It's a possibility. It is definitely a possibility to have a tour of the apartment, and so I will consider that for the near future. But this is in high definition, so unfortunately that means that this is going to take long to load, and I don't usually shoot in high definition. But so maybe you want to know real quick here, what should you do as a backup in case you ever need to find a heating source or whatever for the wintertime, and especially if you live in an apartment where your landlord controls your heat, or even if you control your own heat, but you want to keep your central heating low. Well, first thing is you're going to need 2 things, and no matter what, this definitely is the first thing. You're going to want this, especially if you got hot water-based sport heat like I have here. You got want to have a humidifier. Now, this is not the most expensive one in the world, but the H50 with the UVC filter or light source is really kind of a gimmick. It does work, and it certainly would be useful if you have well water or something, because then it will help to remove any bacteria or that's in the water. But honestly, if you have city water, it's really not needed, because the city water, the chlorine, is going to take care of that. Now, given the bulbs on the average last about, I don't know, I've heard anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I'm going to say just, they're not that expensive. You can get these bulbs on eBay. Because Honeywell does not actually online stock the bulb for this model. So you have to buy them through another source. And so eBay is a good place to get it. So go on eBay and buy the bulb. And it's easy to install. If you really want to know how you would do it, it's really easy. I can just kind of tell you how to do it. What you do is you lift this up and you take out the screw here and the screw here, and I think that, yeah, this one here, and I think there's one on here too. Yes. And then this cover comes off, and then the UVC bulb here comes out, and you can see that the bulb has not turned black. If the bulb has been used for a long time or beyond its life, it's going to turn black. In that case, it just means that the bulb is done. It's worn out. It's finished. That's when you throw it away. This is your fan right here. And while you're at it, doing your yearly season preparations, make sure to clean the heaters out or the fans out. Make sure that there's not too much unwanted dust. It's not here. The cover back on this thing. It's pretty light. This could be because it's a humidifier, and my convectors are not super hot. They're not like steam cast iron steam radiators where you're gonna have this thing is gonna melt the plastic and craze it. So you're fine. That's where it's one of the candles on the floor. I think they fell out of the candlestick holders. The heaters. Depending on the number of rooms you're going to be trying to heat, something like this would be fine for the average person. I don't see why you would need to get much bigger than this for a standard room. If you happen to be in a couple rooms of an apartment you want to heat, make sure you remember each one of these on maximum is going to draw 12.5 amps at 120. So the low setting, by the way, consumes as much heat, or makes as much heat as those two 600-watt incandescents. So yeah, you're going to have plenty of heat. It's just going to be warm. But remember, my apartment's all on 120 amp fuse, and so basically I need to keep that in mind. It's just like Green Acres. For example, I know I'm using this thing on max, that's like 12, just say 12.5. And I got a 20, which means I can spare about 7.5 amps. This doesn't really draw anything. This draws like about a 1. So this can be on, and it's only like 1, maybe 1. And then, of course, the computer over there. We're going to be getting a new video card for the computer over the new one over in the studio. That's like a 6. So technically, you can't have this and that computer on early at maximum because they'll blow a fuse. But you can have this on 600. You can have which is like a 5, and that computer it's just like a 6, and it's like 11. But then when the refrigerator kicks in, that is going to be like, because in my search. It's going to be close to like a 6 when it's steady, stable, running, or maybe a 5. So then you have to keep that in mind. So all that adds up to your current trough. If you do have multiple portable heaters, you obviously do want to consider having each on their own fuse. or like for a room. So if you have, each room has its own fuse, then yeah, you can have one of these and you can have them in the room and you'll be fine. If you have an old building like I do, where you only have one fuse for all the 120 volt circuits, yeah, you're definitely gonna need to watch how many things you plug in. Ever since I followed the Green Acres approach of adding up my loads and figuring out what they were and leave some extra headway, I have not blown a fuse since I've been here. And I didn't say I never blew a fuse. I'm just saying is I haven't blown a fuse since. Now, of course, I have the key to the basement, so theoretically I can get to the basement and change fuses. But I don't really think I need to worry about that right now. So anyway, I hope this longer video tour is going to be useful to you and help you to understand about how I do things, what I do things to do. And yeah, we're going to put this up now, but then later in tonight, maybe after I come back from CVS, I will do a live show tonight, but we'll have to see, okay? Because we had a great show yesterday, and I kind of would like to have another great show today. But I thought this would be better to show you how the new heater looks and how it works and stuff too. Alright guys, see you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.